The next topic that I want to speak about it is a categorical array. Categorical array is one of the array in the MATLAB that mostly used for machine learning or deep learning. It helps you to categorize the target of your variable in a finite set of discrete category. For example, for creating a categorical array, you can use the categorical command. For example, C equal categorical suppose that you have a three class R and G and B and there are some sample in your dataset R or G or B, and you want to create a categorical array from your dataset. Simply you can use the categorical array by passing the element of the target vector to this command. The output is a categorical array. And why do we need to convert the array to the categorical? The first is that the categorical array needs a low memory for storing. And I show you in an example that the categorical array has a lower space than saving the target array. And the next one is that when you work with the categorical array, you can define a string for any category. For example, when you are working in an artificial neural network, every input vector must have a target class. The target class can be a number, for example 1 or 2 or 3, or it can be a string, for example the name of the person, John or Ali. But if you want to use a string for the name of every class, the categorical array is better. In the most machine learning machine learning model in the MATLAB support categorical array, so it's better to work with a categorical array. The next command that can be used for creating a discrete of categorical variable is use categories command. For example, in here you can use the categorize. We must first convert this array to the categorical array, then use the categories as input to this command. Output can be C or C class. The problem in my code was that I have a variable of categories in my workspace. Then I use C as the input to the category. MATLAB bring output from this variable of workspace for me. So I want to work it well, I must delete this from MATLAB. Let me to run the CLC and use again categorize see. As you see here, MATLAB show me the 3 class or 3 categorized in my input data. I said you that category array reduce the memory requirements. So please let me to show you example from the how can it help me to reduce the memory requirement. I have a category array in here. Let me to create this category. It's my category. It's a state in the workspace. As you see here, it is cell array. If I use the host command to see the memory that this variable needs, as you see here, the byte is 1188. But if I converted this variable to the category with this command, categorical, now if I use the host to see the necessary byte, as you see, the necessary byte is reduced, and this variable needs a lower memory in the computer for saving. So in a large project that your target of machine learning project has a many class. For example, in some project we are working with 1000. Our target vector is more than 1000 element, has more than 1000 element. It is better to use the categorical array for storing your target variable. I can use the categories command to see the category of my variable. In here there is a 6 categorized. The next command is a summary. Summary is the command that helps you to see a summary from your dataset. It says that there are 6 classes and there is a 2 class in CT. There is a 2 sample, there are 2 sample in CT, there is a 2 sample from MA and 2 sample from MA and 2 from NH. Or if I run the summary for C, you can see there are 3 samples from R, 2 samples from G and 1 sample from B. If I bring the state that I use for creating, there are 3 samples of R in my command, 2 samples from G and 1 sample from B. The summary helps you to have a good overview from your categorical array. So in a large data set that you cannot count all of the value, for example, suppose that it is your target, you cannot count every how many breadcrumbs there is in my data set. It is very hard for you to count them manually, but this command helps you to find all of the sample from every class in your dataset. Let me to load a dataset from the MATLAB. It is a dataset for cities. This dataset contains 3 data. First, the name Name is a dataset from the city in the USA. As you see, it is our name of the city, and it is a categorical array for the city. It's another category that shows the 9 class for this dataset. Okay, for every name there is a rating. For example, the element, the rating of quality of life, it is the number is related to this city. And the next one, Akron, the quality of life is this city. Okay, so it is our target data. Okay, let me to change this data to a categorical dataset. The first thing that you must know that this array is a character array. We cannot use character array as an input to the categorical. I must first convert the categorical array to the cell array. For this, I must use the names equal cell str. Cell str convert a character array to the string cell array. The output is a cell array. Now I can use the categorical to convert a cell array to a categorical array. As you see, the output is a categorical. Now I can use, for example, the summary. In every class we have just one sample, or I can use the categorized to see the category of my dataset. If you want to determine whether input is a categorical array, you can use is categorical. This categorical can be used to check the input is a categorical array or not. Ratings is a variable in my workspace. It's a double, so it is not categorized, so the output is 0. But the names is a categorical array, so the output is a 1. The next thing is that how to add a new category to the categorical array. Suppose that it is our input cell array. Let me to clear all the workspace and a new cell array. Input is a cell array. I want to create a categorical array from this categorical from state. It is a categorical array. How can I can use the summary for seeing the available category. As you see here, there is a city, MA, and so on. Let me to add two categories to the stated two variables. So the output is state. For example, you can use a new name or can use the previous name. I can use a new name, stated 3, add cats. Now you must use this name, stated2, and in a cell array you must specify the new category that you want to add. I set the sh and nr. Close the parentheses. There. The my stated 3. If I use the categorize for seeing the category of stated 2 and categorize for stated 3. As you see here, it has a 6 element, but it has a 8 element. 2 new are added, sh and nr are added to the end of this categorical array. The next command is a remove cats. Remove cat, remove categorize from a category array. For example, it was my category array that I created in the previous command, and if I use the summary for a stated 3, you see that 2 categories, there is no sample, there is no element for days in my category array. So if you use the remove cats for stated 3, these 2 categories that they don't have any sample in our data set will be removed. Okay, I must create a new name for my new stated 4. If I use the summary for saying the stated 4, as you see here, these 2 categories are removed. And it has a 6, but it had 8 categories. We can use the remove cats for removing a category that has an element. For example, let me show you stated 2 and summary for stated 2. As you see, all of these has a value, but I want to remove this from my categories. Just use the remove cats and the category array that you want to remove, and the name of the category that you want to remove from your data, RI. Result stated 5. So with this command, I remove the category RI from stated 2. And the MATLAB display undefined for the sample that was related to this class. We have one sample, so you can see there is just one undefined in here. If I use summary for a stated 4, you will see that this class is removed. And if I use the categorize for stated 2 and categorize for stated 4, you will see that it has a 6 categorized, but there is a 5 categorized in stated 4, and RI state 2 and the new category array is state 4. Okay. There are many functions and vectors for working with the categorized array. Please go to the MATLAB1.com. There is a specific course for categorized array in our website.